Hello friends and my dear students, welcome back to my channel Phoenix Physics. Today we are going to learn errors in measurement. You know that uncertainty in a measurement is called error. There are three types of error. One is systematic error, another one is random error, and third one is gross error. First, this systematic errors usually come from measuring instrument, and these errors are consistent, which means if you repeat the experiment you will get same type of error. For example, consider this is an analog weighing machine. Here the pointer is not at 0, it is at the third division, which means it shows 0.3 kilogram. Okay. Here first I measured my weight. Say my weight is 80 kilogram. My actual weight is 80 kilogram, but this weighing machine shows 80.3 kilogram. Next I measured my daughter's weight. Her weight is 30 kilogram, but this machine shows 30.3 kilogram. So, if I take several measurements, in all the measurement, this machine shows excess 0.3 kg. This systematic errors are consistent. Up to this clear? Systematic errors are reproducible inaccuracies that are consistently in the same direction. Same direction means either high or low or positive or negative. There are 5 subdivisions in this systematic error. First one is instrumental error. This error due to imperfect design or calibration of the measuring instrument or zero error of the instrument. For example, you know that boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. Consider this as a thermometer. Here this poorly calibrated thermometer reads the temperature as 102 degrees centigrade while immersed in the hot water instead of this 100 degrees centigrade. This is an example for imperfect design. Next, I want to measure the cloth length with worn out meter scale or broken edge meter scale. What happened? Get error, right? Consider this as a voltmeter and this is our scale. Here this is my pointer. You can measure the values up to 3 volt. So here the pointer is not at 0. Suppose it points in the second division, that is 0.2 volt. Means if we take several measurements, all the measurement will give excess 0.2 volt from the true value, right? These are all the example for instrumental error. Then how do you minimize this error? Choosing the instrument carefully. Second one is imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. These errors arise due to the limitation in the experimental arrangement. For example, you know that simple pendulum experiment, right? Here we calculate G value. G is nothing but our acceleration due to gravity. How do you calculate G value? By using the formula 4 pi squared L by T squared. Here in this experiment, how do you take the reading? By varying the length of the pendulum, right? First one, varying the length of the pendulum. Second one, you can calculate the time period, that is the T, the time period for either 20 or 10 oscillation. Then substitute all the value, you can get the G value. Here, air friction or improper oscillation or slightly moving support, all will affect the G value. Second one is calorimeter experiment. From this calorimeter experiment, we can calculate specific heat capacity of the liquid or solid. Solid means ice. Here, in this calorimeter experiment, we should keep this calorimeter, that is calorimeter vessel or copper vessel, inside some insulation material. Say this insulation material is wooden box. Why? Otherwise, radiation loss will occur and we cannot get the exact temperature of the liquid. How do you minimize this error? To overcome this error, necessary correction has to be applied. Third one is personal error. These errors arise due to an individual bias, lack of proper arrangement of the instrument, then carelessness while taking readings. Here I am going to measure the water level in burette. If you are not reading the meniscus at eye level, that is this level, eye level, you will get inaccurate value and the value will be either high or low depending on whether you take the reading either above or below the meniscus. These two position gives parallax error. Same way, if you want to take reading in voltmeter or ammeter, you should not take the reading sideways, otherwise it will give parallax error. Then how do you minimize this personal error? By removing personal bias as far as possible. Fourth one is errors due to external cause, that is the errors arise due to change in temperature, pressure or humidity. For example, suppose I am going to measure the length with metal ruler or steel tape. You can get different values while taking it in the cold temperature than at the hot temperature. What is the reason for this? This is nothing but thermal expansion. We did one experiment in your lab. Have you heard about that ball and ring experiment? This is one of the example for thermal expansion, right? So, but before heating, you know that the ring will be like this. Before heating, the ball will go inside. After heating, it will not go into the ring. What is the reason? Because of thermal expansion. This experiment you have done in the lab. Last one is least count error. What is least count? The smallest value that can be measured by the measuring instrument is least count. I hope you know that. The least count for meter scale 1 millimeter, then screw gauge 0.01 millimeter, then vernier caliper, least count for vernier caliper 0.01 centimeter. Okay. Suppose I want to measure the thickness of thin wire, coin or paper, these thickness are less than 1 millimeter. If you measure this wire thickness or paper thickness using this meter scale, definitely you will get error. Why? Because these thickness are less than 1 millimeter. So we cannot use meter scale to measure the thickness. Then what will you do? You use screw gauge to measure the thickness. So if you use meter scale, you will get least count errors. Up to this clear? So this least count error occur both in systematic error as well as in random error. Second one is random error. Sometimes this error called chance error. This error arise due to random unpredictable experimental condition. What is this unpredictable experimental condition? That is pressure change or temperature change, voltage supply, etc. For example, I am going to measure the wind velocity. You know that the wind velocity depends on height and time. So we cannot get the exact value or the same value all the time. And the second one, the errors may also due to personal errors by the observer. What is that? Measuring my height. Here it depends upon the posture change. For example, suppose if I stand straight, I can measure my height as say 160 centimeter. Suppose I stand like this, 1 or 2 centimeter, you can measure 1 or 2 centimeter less than the true value, right? So here the errors are depends on the posture change. So in this random error, if you take the reading or if you repeat the experiment, you cannot get the same value. For example, in the screw gauge experiment, sometimes you can get 1.2 millimeter, sometimes you can get 1.3 millimeter or 1.1 millimeter, like that. You cannot get the same value. Then how do you minimize this random error? By taking arithmetic mean. Say A1, A2 up to AN, these are my measurement like this. Then how do you take arithmetic mean? By simply adding all the values A1 plus A2 plus A3 up to AN and divide the number of readings. Here I am taking n number of readings, so I am substituting n here. Then how do you write the equation? You can simply write it as summation of I is equal to 1 to n ai divided by n. You can write like this, right? So here you can either write it as 1 by n summation of I is equal to 1 to n ai. Both are same. Okay, this is our arithmetic mean. In order to avoid this random error, in our lab we are taking more than 5 readings in our screw gauge or vernier caliper or simple pendulum or whatever experiment, and we are taking average. Third one is gross error. This is similar to our personal error, that is initial adjustment of the experiment. For example, in spectrometer experiment, we have to do certain adjustment before taking the reading. You have to adjust the eyepiece of the telescope, slit of the collimator, then you have to adjust the level of the prism table. Otherwise, you will get error. Suppose I measured focal length of the lens. Say my focal length f is equal to some 9.6 centimeter. But if you write 6.9 centimeter means you will get the error. So it is mere carelessness of the observer. So this gross error is mere carelessness of the observer. Third one, wrong calculation. If you substitute the values wrongly in calculation, you can get the error. Next we will see the difference between systematic error and random error. Actually, what is systematic error? It is a constant error. Here random error is inconsistent. Okay. So why I am saying constant error? If you repeat the experiment, you will get the same value, same error value. But if you repeat the experiment, you can get different value. Next one is cause. It's caused by incorrect calibration of the instrument. Here it is caused by unpredictable variation in pressure, temperature and voltage supply. How do you minimize this systematic error? By selecting suitable instrument. Here by taking average of large number of measurement. I hope this video is useful to you. If you like my video, please share and subscribe my video. Thank you.